Okay. So, hi and good morning, everyone. So, welcome to AWS Cloud Native MuleSoft Meetup group. So, today we are talking about AWS Tesseract. Okay. So, it is a AWS service which basically extracts the documents, the text from the document. So, we are just having this topic like unveiling the heart of MuleSoft intelligent document processing. So, just to give a context, MuleSoft has recently release this product MuleSoft IDP. So basically, it works behind the scene. It works on AWS Textract service. So we will be talking about that service only. Okay. So before we start, let's just quickly introduce you to the organizers. So we have two organizers for this group, like me and myself and Robin. So Robin, if you can just quickly introduce yourself.
Hey all, so I'm Robinson. I'm from Hashin by Deloitte. As of now, I'm currently working as Senior Integration Specialist or Specialist 2, as we call it in Hashin by Deloitte. So today we'll be, as Shubham already introduced the session, today we'll be working like seeing the views on AWS and how we can work with Mule, with text extract. So Shubham, I think we are good to start to introduce speaker.
Okay. Okay. So next slide.
Okay, so for today's session, like me and Shubham will be there to take you through our topic that is AWS Textract. So let me introduce you all to myself. I am Priya Shaw and I'm currently working with LTI Mindtree as a senior specialist, and I have over like 5+ of years of experience into MuleSoft and IBM domain, and I'm a MuleSoft and IBM certified, and I'm also like a meetup leader of Mysore, MuleSoft mentor and ambassador. Shum, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. So, hi there, everyone. I am Shubham Chaurasia. I'm like MuleSoft ambassador and an integration developer working in Millennium. Okay, I have more than 4 years of experience in integrations, and I am Salesforce and MuleSoft certified. Okay, and I'm also an AWS community builder. Okay, that's all about me. We can straight move into the topic.
Shubham, can you like start and give a brief introduction about AWS so that it will be
Yeah,
easy
sure.
for everyone to understand?
Yeah. So just for context, like if every can anyone here doesn't know about AWS, if you yes, you can type in the chat. So I'll just quickly give a brief introduction, a quick introduction of AWS. So we have, everyone knows about AWS. Like it's Amazon Web Services. So it's a cloud technology cloud. So we get these services from AWS like compute, storage, database, networking, and content delivery, analytics. So all these services we have, which AWS provides. If we talk about computing service, so we have different services for this, like EC2 instance, and we have EBS, ECS. Okay, so these services provide the capability of computing power. Then we have storage services like S3 and um, storage for we have S3. Then for database we have DynamoDB. Okay, and Aurora. So these are like some of the services that comes under all these categories. Okay, so we today we are talking about Amazon Test Track service. So it comes under like machine learning category of AWS. Just to give you like how to start with AWS, I can share my screen. Just give me a second. Can you stop sharing so that I will introduce you how to get started with AWS? Okay, can you stop sharing? Yeah, so I will tell you like how you can start with AWS. So I'm sharing my screen. So just to start with AWS, you have to like have an account with AWS. So AWS gives us 1 year trial product capability, so we can just sign up for AWS, and we get 1 year trial license. Okay, so you create an account. Okay, you have to provide your credit card details, although they won't charge it for a year. So you can just provide your credit card and get signed up to the AWS. When you complete the sign up process, you basically land on this page, okay, where you can see we have all these services, compute containers, which I talked about, okay, machine learning, and again, you can see we will be talking about this Tesseract service. So I'll just show you quickly that we will be following this service today. That's all about it. Like for now, Priya will explain about all this about Amazon Tesseract. What is that, and why do we need to use this service? Okay, so let's move on to the slide.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so before we get deep dive into like a Textract service, like let's first understand the importance of processing documents. Okay, so the need for processing document is there for search and discovery. So like we all know, right? Our document contains a lot of informations like our data, our name, address, email, and whatnot, right? So this is very important that your document is well extracted for further analysis and action. Okay, and then there's also need of processing of document for compliance control. So there are like several industries like which require document processing to ensure compliance with regulations and standard. Okay, so like this can be like checking or verifying whether like your document is authentic or not, and it is also useful for detecting fraud and ensures that it is also adhering to all the legal requirements. Then the need for processing document is there for business like business process automation also. So like this basically enables your automations of repetitive tasks like your data entry, then your form filling documents, and then generating of different types of documents, right? And also creating workflow management. So all these are very much useful. Okay, so hence like it is very critical step for discovering the value of informations which are contained within the document. Okay, so let's first understand like in nowadays in current scenario, like without Textract, like how documents are getting processed. Okay, so lots of customers are still dependent on manual process. So right, manual process are always very labor intensive, and also it is time consuming, right? And as there are like touch of human intervention, so there's also like very risk involved and error involved within it. Okay, then like most of the companies are also using OCR for their like document processing. So along with OCR there are other like legacy technology also which they are using, but obviously there are a lot of limitations to it. Okay, and obviously like whatever data we are extracting from OCR, they are not like giving much insight about it, and also like it is not very much useful for decision making as well. Then most of the companies are also like combining OCR with rule and template based extraction. And what it is like, uh, what they are doing is like they are creating custom post processing code, okay, which is kind of rule based. But there is also limitation of it, okay, because it is non scalable. So as you know, like documents comes in different format and different forms. Okay, and creating rules and processing script is very tedious and time consuming, right? And also like if you talk about simple loan application, claim package, and if there are some more type of validations or document processing rules you want, then you have to work on it to create with some algorithm and code. Okay, so you can like consider like whatever document processing strategy which we are currently using in our industry is very time consuming, expensive, and really like error prone process, right? So let's talk about OCR. Like obviously we have one tool called optical character recognition tool, but what made like AWS to think about a product which goes beyond this capabilities, and why they invented introduced text track, right? So it is very important to first understand what was the limitations of OCR. So you all already know like OCR is also used widely for converting image of text into machine readable format. Okay, and it is widely used and adopted across industry. But even though like our technology has, or OCR has made a lot of significant achievement, but it still faces a lot of challenges when it comes to accuracy, or language support, or format of like processing different formats of data, or processing speed, right? So let's talk about few of the challenges. So first and major challenge is accuracy. Okay, so our like system may struggle with accuracy when it comes to recognizing characters, which are basically provided when we are giving image which is not good in picture quality, or it contains different kinds of language within it. So it creates issue with the uh, extracting documents, and it does not have much accuracy to it. Okay, and also like if OCR works well with plain text, and when we talk about complex data, like if you have to parse table or forms or graphs, then it may not extract the data very accurately. Also, like it is very slow in nature when it comes to processing huge volume of documents. Okay, and as I mentioned, it also support very less and limited languages only. And also like when you're extracting information from it, then deriving some output and decision making is also not that much good with the extracted information. And also with the extracted information, integrating the data with the downstream system is also very challenging. Okay, so these limitations are basically like highlighting the need for continuous research and development of a product which can resolve all these issues. So if I summarize this, like what challenges we saw with the existing system is like it is obviously very much expensive, error prone, and time consuming process. So what is the solution then, right? So we are looking for a solution which are scalable in nature. So like now, like after seeing all these challenges, like having a scalable document processing is very much important, because the scalable solution provides lots of flexibility and also efficiency and provides reliability. Okay, and obviously our organization can manage this documents very efficiently if our system is scalable. Okay, so what does it include? First is like if you see the first slide, first point is processing a substantial volume of variety of document demands significant human hours. Okay, so like if we are handling large volume of data like invoices, contracts, reports, and emails, like it is very much helpful. Okay, then with the same template we can achieve and extract all those information very easily. Also, like it helps automating your task end to end very effectively with evolving technical stacks and AI solutions. Also, like scalable document process solutions which can integrate well with the end systems like our CRM, ERP system is there, right? So all those becomes very easy when we have a scalable document processing solutions. Okay, so this is AWS Textract, which is there to solve all the problems and challenges which we are seeing in the market. Okay, so Amazon Textract is a scalable service, you can say, which allows you to extract data accurately and faster, and that too like requires no code. Okay, and also it does not require multiple templates to process different types of documents. Okay, and obviously like it uses deep learning in the background for its AI. Okay, and obviously like it is trained on like multiple types of um, like documents, right? To work with real time data. Okay, and the main like you can say main good part about AWS Textract is, an interesting part about AWS Textract is that it provides a confidence score. Okay, that basically helps you to understand what like how much you are also confident with the extracted data, and you can process it further to the downstream system. Okay, so currently like this AWS Textract is supporting documents like PNG and JPEG and PDF. Okay, So now let's see like some of the coolest feature of it. So you can make use of AWS Textract detect or extract text with the OCR capabilities. Okay, then you can also extract table cells, okay, from the documents using analyze document table feature of it. So like there are analyze document feature available, which helps you to extract tables and then queries, form, signature, right? All those are very much easy to extract using this analyze document capabilities of Textract. And then we also have analyze ID feature, which helps us to, fetch ID related information from the document very easily. Okay, so this works well with like any format of data, if it contains tables or if it contains Latin language or any different languages. Okay, it works well with everything. Okay, and also with the dense volume of data as well. So these are the Textract features. So it has obviously in the text extractions, table extractions, form extractions, and there are a lot more than this also, which we'll see. Okay, so as Shubham also like explained in the beginning, like MuleSoft has also introduced IDP for MuleSoft, which is useful for extracting the data, okay, in a faster and efficient way with AI powered accuracy. Okay, so this went live on 29th of April this year only. Okay, so if you will see the picture, right, you can easily understand if you upload a document here to the intelligent document processing, that is IDP, how efficiently and beautifully it is extracting all the information in key value pair, right? So you can see it is able to extract invoice date, subtotal, tax, right, all those things. And also you can also it provides you the confidence score as well. Okay, so you can from from your own side also you can set this threshold that if confidence score is more than 85%, you can go ahead and integrate it well with the downstream system. And if score is below 85, then you can also send it for human review. So all these features are available. Okay, and the most interesting part of IDP for MuleSoft is that it is built on AWS Textract only, on top of AWS Textract. So whatever feature and capabilities which you are going to see now with AWS Textract, you can expect all those, uh, you know, uh, can come in future within IDP as well. Okay, so there are very limited features which are currently available for IDP, and they are still working on it, and it will come part by part with different releases. Okay, so this is about IDP. And if you like currently it is GA, so if you have access to RPA or Composer, then you might see under automation bundle that this IDP is also available. Okay, and if you do not see it, you might reach out to support team for the access. Okay, so these are the AWS Textract users which you can see. So you can basically create intelligent search index, okay, to detect text and image from the files. Then you can also utilize Amazon Textract for NLP, which can control basically your extractions of data from paragraph and then tables. Okay, and then you can also accelerate your data capture and normalization, which means like there, if you have lot varieties of data like your financial documents, medical documents, you can basically retrieves or you can extract necessary information and normalize all those extracted information to a human needed format. Okay, then we also have automated data extraction use case available to integrate all the APIs into existing workflows. So there are several use cases. If you want to like check, then you can basically see like these are just a few among those which I have mentioned. Okay, so AWS extract are like widely used among financial, healthcare, medical, and almost all the sectors. And like these Paytm, Elevens, and Blacknet, these are some of the customers of it, which are like highly using this feature of Amazon AWS. Okay, then there are two types of APIs which they like Amazon Textract is providing. One is synchronous. So when you want to process a document single or one by one, then you can make use of synchronous API and get the result out of it. And also, like if you want to process documents with a lot of page, which is having a lot of pages, then you can go ahead with the asynchronous API of Textract, which basically processes your documents and notify towards the end if it is processed. Okay. So these are like just a theoretical concept about AWS Textract and getting started with the understanding of Textract. Now, like Shubham will guide you with the use real time use case and some hands on it. Okay. So I'll
One
ask
second.
Shubham to.
Okay.
Hmm.
Can you go back to the slide?
Yeah.
Okay. So just maximize this. Yeah. So you can see we can use Amazon Textract to basically, let's say, this is an example of a form capturing application architecture. Okay. So if we are designing some application which can capture, which we want to capture the details from the form, you can see that this kind of architecture we can design, like there will be input. So how we will capture the data, basically a mobile, we will use a, let's say, a mobile app to capture the photo of that application form which has all the details. Now the mobile captures the application, sends, basically calls the Amazon Textract API and passes the image. Okay. Now Textract API, and the service basically fetches that document, and it extracts the text, basically the form details from the form fields from the form. Okay. And it populates the application. Like you can see the customers captures, I mean, experience real time capture of their information by just taking a photo instead of manual entry. So if we would have gone by the earlier ways, we have to manually cap- passing those details in the application. But now the API is fetching all the details and storing it in the database. So now stop. You can stop sharing.
Okay.
I see we have a question. If a client is already a partner with AWS, will it make sense to use IDP instead of test track directly? Basically, I want to know how MuleSoft Salesforce is improving the capability for integrations. Okay. You can say like. See, for now, like IDP is also integrating AI within its product. Okay, so if you want to get some additional benefit, you can also design with AWS as well. If you are a client AWS partner, so it depends upon your capability. If you have some developers that can customize your data, so you can basically you have both options. Okay, so does that answers your question, Gundeep?
Yeah, and also one thing is that MuleSoft is yet to release a lot of features, right? So obviously, like if your existing system is in need of something which is not there in IDP yet, so obviously you can go with AWS capabilities, right? And obviously, like MuleSoft is also going to bring a lot more than what AWS Textract already has. So if we talk about Einstein, right? So they are also going to integrate it well with Einstein so that you don't even have to convert your extracted documents to any different language like JSON. Okay, so it will automatically do that work as well for you.
Yeah, I
So,
would say like if you are in the Salesforce MuleSoft ecosystem, it will make sense to use the IDP.
mhm.
But if not, you are not in that ecosystem, then you can directly use the product itself, like AWS Test Track. Okay, instead of going to IDP. Okay,
Okay. Hmm.
so let me know if that answers your question. Okay, I'll just share my screen and we'll see about the demo for the um, AWS Test Track. Okay, so this. Okay, so basically you go to AWS console and then search for Amazon Test Track. Okay, now we have this open here. So you can see, okay, that we have these features: analyze document, analyze expense, analyze ID, analyze lending, and bulk document uploader. Okay, so let's just start with analyzing document. Okay, so we have already some preloaded document here. So if you want to, I mean, like change the type of document that we have here. Let's say we have a loan application, okay, and we want to extract the information from this loan application. In real scenarios, you will also be passing similar kind of image or a document like this one, and you will be calling this service. Okay, so let's just say we we pass this document and then we get this information, okay, like raw text. So whatever text is in there, we got that information here. If we want to have in different formats, let's say want to have, like, if there is some table, then we can have that information in a table, okay. In the if Since you can see this is a form, so we should like analyze this document in a form format, okay. So you can see that we got the information like lender case number and interest rate, okay. So you basically it fetches based on that key value pairs, okay. So again, let's say if it is a financial document, okay, let's say financial document. So you can see again you got the raw text, the form information, and if you can also see, you can see it is a table now, so it will fetch that information in a tabular format. So you with this, if you pass this, if you fetch this information with the category of tables, you will get that information in a tabular format. Then we have signatures and queries, okay. So I will talk about this queries format in a little bit later, okay. Then we have analyze expense. You can see there is a risk. So again, you have to categorize your documents. If it is a form document, then you should use this service analyze document. So if it is an expense document, then we have some preloaded fields that will help us in fetching these information. So if you have some expense related document like this receipt here, then you should use this analyze expense service, okay. You can see invoice related. If it is an invoice, we should also use analyze expense service only. Then we have an analyze id service. You can see if we call this api, it can read and extract data from entity documents. Now there is a key here, like for now it supports only us driver's license, us passport, okay. If you pass this indian id, it will not fetch exact information because it is not trained to fetch the in, information related to, I mean, subjected to indian id, okay. So if you can see that this id we passed, okay, this is a us driving license, you can see it fetched all the information here. But if you want to, if let's say I will pass my id, okay, let's say, okay, I will show. No, one second. Yeah, basically, if I will pass my ID, okay, like Indian email, Indian ID, it will not fetch the proper information because it is not trained to do so. So this is some drawback as of yet because it is being trained. You have to train your model to fetch the ID if it is based out of India, okay. So how will you do that? Like if you want to train your model according to your needs, okay, then you for this you have custom queries. So if you go to custom queries, so I will tell you like what you will do here. You will basically create an adapter, okay. You can see how it works. You will create an adapter. So adapter is basically training your model, okay. Like it, you will pass different types of ids and you will analyze the information it will pass and then approve or not, that this is exactly what we need, okay. Then you can basically, you will see that we will upload samples, then we will label it like, yeah, this information is this part of information is first name, this part of information here is last name in the id. Then we train our model and then we check. So this is how the we if we need to use our own ids, then we need to use custom queries. If it is a us based information details ids, then you can directly use this service, okay. Now see, this is a ui. Now if you want to automate this process, right, you want to call the api, right? So we have the apis as well here. So before we start with APIs, let's see how do we need to call the APIs. Okay, so I'll just go to one document here. Okay, so these are the AWS Amazon Textract API endpoints. Okay, so if it differs based on the region. Okay, so you can see that if it is a US East region, you need to call this endpoint. If it is a Asia Pacific region, okay, like Mumbai, then you need to call this endpoint. Okay, so based on your region, you need to update your endpoint to call. Now let's go to the. You can see this is the API and API resources that we can read out. Okay, now let's configure that this API in our Postman. Okay, to call. So you pass this endpoint here. Okay, now what is the payload? Okay, like what body do we need to pass? We can get it from here. Okay, you can see this is the this endpoint. Let me see. Yeah, API reference. So you can see that we have these options: analyze document. So if we are analyzing a document, we need to provide this request format. Okay, here you can see there is a adapter config. So if you need to use your own adapt train model, then you will pass that adapter which you created. Okay, now we have this document um, block where we have to pass the document. So we have two ways to pass the document. Okay, either you can upload that in an S3. Okay, or you can pass it as base 64 encoded bytes. Okay, so it any document PDF, PDF, JPG, PNG, can you can convert it to base 64 and then pass it here. So either of one can you can pass in the document. Okay, then we have feature types. So in the slide as we discussed, like feature types, this is the one, I think. Yeah, so you need to define that the document you are passing contains tables, so it will extract tables. If it contains forms, then you need to pass forms. If it is a form document, if it you need to extract signatures, you can pass signatures. If it is a you can also pass all these together simultaneously as well, because a document can contain tables, forms, signatures as well, right? So you can pass all these together as well. Okay, so this is what we need to pass, and it is a mandatory field. These two are the mandatory fields. Rest these fields are optional. Okay, and this one is as well. Now one again, this column like human loop config. So let's say you want to scrutinize your document, like you want to review your document. If some information is missing, then you can add manual human as well for review. Okay, so this is the one configuration that we can also do. Instead of automating, let's say we want to uh, verify that this document contains that particular information, or maybe it contains, we don't want personally identifiable information in the document, then we can uh, pass this human loop config to check if that is there or not. Okay, so I will also tell you like how you create this human review. So human config. So what we'll do, you will go to console again. Okay, console. So you go to the service augmented AI. It is a part of again SageMaker. Okay, you can see you have to create this human review workflow. Okay, so we will add create a team, add some persons here, which we can assign to this test track service. Okay, yeah, we come back here. Okay, we were in the IP part. Okay, now let's come back to the talking part. Like we discussed all the parts of request, right? So let me now we need to call this endpoint. We need to have some authorization in place, right? So we need to pass our auth type as AWS signature. So AWS APIs, if you want to call, you need to pass your authentication as AWS signature, because if you need to call API, I mean, if you need to call API request, you need to sign AWS API request. Okay. Now you can see that we got these options, like we need to pass access key and secret key. So I'll just quickly tell you like how you can generate AWS secret key and access key. So when you create your IAM user, just let me go IAM user. So when you create your account, you get this option of getting secret key and access key. Let's say if you forget, you can go to users, and let's say such particular user is there, you can create your access key from here. We can have 2 access key at a time. So you can see that we created one. Let's say we forget this key, so we can create key for this user. See, we got this access key and secret key. You can copy this. Again, you need to have this to this user, you need to provide this permission. For now, you can see that it has only AWS Lambda access permission. If you want to call this Tesseract service, you need to provide this permission as well. Okay, so you can add that permission. Okay, add user to group at policies directly. Okay, and you can pass this Tesseract full access service, or depending on which access you need to provide to that particular user. Okay, now coming back here, we got the access key and the secret key, we pass that in here. Okay, and the body we have created. Okay, now you are checking here, like we have not provided any endpoint, like okay, like we analyzing a document, are we analyzing service, which API are we calling? If I go here, yeah, so which action are we calling? Are we calling analyze document? Are we passing this request? Are we calling this analyze expense, or are we calling this analyze ID? So how do we determine, because the payload differs for different requests, right? So we have to pass that service which we are calling action in the header section. Okay, in the header section you need to pass these 2 values: content type as application this value, and X Amazon target, okay, X AMZ target as the service ended. So the service we are calling is Textract, and this action analyze ID. Okay, so we are passing a image here in the body. You can see that I'm passing a driving license .png. So I am passing my document as S3 object. I can also pass it as in the bytes format, base64 encoded. So you can see if I go to analyze ID, we have to pass this payload. So as of now, I am passing using this option. You can also use this. Let's call this, let's send this request. Okay, you can see this is the test bucket 535, which is my bucket name in my account, and it has this object stored in there, inside there. Okay, now I call this. So it gave me all these details. Let's just quickly see all these details which we got. We can open it in JSON. Okay, I think here we can pass. Okay, now you can see what values we have here. You can see document metadata. So we have only one page here. Okay, now about the document, we have some blocks. So blocks, here we have page. Okay, in the page we have some relationship ID, so these will be child objects. Okay, now we have line. Okay, so I passed this ID, I'll show you. Desktop. So this DLB I have passed. You can see if I search for this Maria information, I will get that in here. Okay, okay, let me paste that in. Okay, I can search it here. Okay, you can see that it came under line option, and it will come under word option. Okay, so it extracts line, word. Okay, so if I just go back again to the ID, So when basically this service does what, like it extracts this particular line, the, okay, and it also extracts words. So if you need to have, like, JSON formatted response, you need to basically parse this in JSON response. Okay, so for that, if you are coming from the MuleSoft background, you have to write a data weave to extract the required details. Like if you want to have the first name, you can parse it. Okay, you write data weave to extract it out in the required format. Okay, now you can see that this we call the analyze. Let's call the another service like analyze document. So what you need to do, just update this information here, like textract.analyze document in the header section, and in the body you have to change the payload. Like here I am just passing the document in the base64 encoded. Again, you can pass through S3 object as well, but now you need to provide this additional feature type required information as well. So it is required. Okay, so feature types, as I explained, we are extracting this information based on a layout. Let's say we want to, um, it is a table. Let me show you the first document. Okay, I'll just go to this one. So I am converting this document to base64 and passing that. So I am trying to extract this information. Okay, invoice number, let's say. So I call this service now, and me open that again. You can see there is also a table. Okay, so first let's call this from this service. Okay, directly from the UI. So analyzing a document. Okay, let me upload this. No, not upload from my computer. So you can see the same features that we are calling through API, we need to provide here. Like, are we trying to extract information from a kind of table, or is it a form? So we can pass table because it also contains tabular information. You can see it analyzed. Okay, processing this one. Okay, so it takes time sometimes. I think it will take 10-20 seconds. So let's just wait. Meanwhile, we can call the API endpoint to find out the information. Okay. So just showing you both the perspectives, like from the UI and the API endpoint. I think request has invalid parameters. Let's try this. I think it analyzed the document. Let's go to that. You can see we can download the result. Okay, so what it does, it extracts the information in the form of table. Okay, so if I show you this one, you can see this table is extracted out, that information. Like you can see invoice, we have invoice number, order number, invoice ID. So this is the information that we have in this document here. So you can see that there are three tables. So it will extract three, it will create three Excel files or three CSV files. Okay, so if I go to back, you can see there are three tables extracted out of this. So we passed this table, so that's why it extracted tables. Okay, all right. Coming back to here, you can see that it's extracted out the information. So if I search for invoice, you can see that we have a block here. It's line. Okay, as I told you, like it extracts information first by line, then by word. Okay, so you'll find the invoice information, and then you'll find that uh, invoice value, number value. Okay, so again, if you need that key value pair, you need to parse this response. Okay, now again, there are some limitations, like let me show you that, like, limitations of API and number of times we can call. Okay, there are service quotas, like if you want to call synchronous operations, you need from the API. Okay, so let's say analyze document API we are calling, then if you are based out of this region, then you can call only 10 times per second per account. Okay, so these are the some limitations. Okay, you need to when you are designing your no business use case, then you need to no, this non behavioral aspect you need to consider. Okay, now, okay, let's see what else. Now, let's say you want to um, replicate the same thing, right? This calling of API from Postman to MuleSoft. Okay, to the endpoint studio, if you want to call this endpoint, so how do we pass this AWS signature? Because rest of the part we can do, we can configure endpoint, we can configure body, we can configure headers, but how do we configure this authorization? Because we do not get AWS signature in the auth type in that HTTP request connectors. Okay, so what you have to do is follow this particular link. Okay, because it's a little bit typical how to configure AWS signature in MuleSoft in HTTP request connector. Okay, okay, let me, I think, wrong connector. So there are two ways. Okay, I'll show you one by one. You can see that you have to follow this article. So you will sign AWS API request using data weave. Okay, so you have to create first fetch this, create some functions. Okay, then basically pass this data weave. Okay, now you can see that access key, secret key we are passing in the Postman, that same way you will pass here. But again, you need to follow this document. There are some typical concepts that you need to understand before you can do this. Then there is another way, like this extension we have here. Okay, you can just directly download this. Okay, and you can make use of this connector. Okay, signature version 4 connector, to basically signing your AWS request, API request. Okay, so I will share the, let me share the link in the chat. Okay, just to, I will share all the links. Okay, so in case for future references, let me just enter it because it's looking. I can delete this one. Okay, so let me verify. Okay, I think this is all I wanted to discuss. And if you have any questions, you can ask him. You can ask it. You can stop share. Let me know if you have any questions. I think this is all I wanted to share about AWS Textract. I'll just wait for some questions if you have some. I think Vikas asked some comment. One more point: if you use AWS Textract directly, you would need to know the input payload syntaxes while calling Textract APIs. But while using MuleSoft IDP, it should not be the case, as Mule would handle interaction with Tesseract. Yes, that's correct. But I don't know if MuleSoft IDP has released API for this. What about the watermark, barcode, and mass field on the documents? The watermark, barcode, and mass field of the documents. So I think, do you want to extract that information, or do you want to exclude that information? because when this service will you know process that document, it will extract that watermark as well. And mass field, it will show as a word. I explained you, right, that it extracts the information in form of lines and words. So it will show that masked field information in the word ways, like it will extract that particular masked character only. Do we have a UI for IDP in any point platform as well? UI, yeah, I mean, if you are signing up for the IDP product, like if it is first, you need to have access. Then if you have access, I will show you like how it will look like. Okay, so as you can see in the PDF, we have that screenshot, right? Yeah, so it will look like this product when you will open it from the Anypoint platform. It will show in the Anypoint platform section. Okay, so I will show you like where it will show. When you will have access, it will show. One second. Okay, let me log out this document. For now, I don't have access. That's why I think I cannot show you exactly like where it will appear.
Yes, but like just to tell you, like it will give you a UI also. Okay, so it comes under automation bundle of MuleSoft Anypoint. Okay, so if you have access to RPA and Composer within automation section, you will also see a new menu added or new service added, that is IDP under it. Okay.
Yeah, you can see that this account holds automation credit. Okay, so you can see RPA manager here, composer. Similarly, your IDP will appear here as well. Okay, then if you will click on go to MuleSoft IDP, then you will land on this particular page. Okay, like here. So this is the UI for that IDP product. Now here you will have the UI for passing the documents and getting these outputs. Okay, let's see other questions. No issues, got it. Thank you. Right. Any other questions?
And Shubham, in the free trial account for this AWS, right? I think there are some restrictions like how many pages we can read through Textract, right? Or process through Textract.
Yeah, we have limitations. I think since it is a trial, I mean, I think even in the full product, there are still limitations. Like I think a document can have 3,000 pages. Okay, so I mean, it cannot process a document with having more than 3,000 pages. So this is the limitation. Then size and the document size, width of the document is also a limitation. So you have to carefully pass your document. Like it should, like if you are passing an image, it should look, the pixel should be of good enough quality to for the service to be able to extract the information. It's not like it will magically analyze everything and can pass or and can give you all the information from itself. So you need to take care of that.
Okay. And I'm wondering, like this Textract integration was there in the MuleSoft RPA as well, right? So what extra have been introduced in MuleSoft IDP? Do you have idea?
I mean, there is nothing extra apart from, I think. I mean, this is again my opinion. Like, I think they have integrated that AI capability, right? Using Einstein GPT. If there is some missing information from the field that IDP is not able how to extract, you can pass that prompt like, "Can you extract me this field as well?" Then it will give you that field. So I think that capability is provided through AI only. not through test track service. So if I can show you that demo as well, let me share my screen. Okay, so I'll just show you that I am calling this Gemini API. Okay, so this is again AI service, right? Gemini AI. Now I am passing this image. Okay, so this is
Mhm.
my PAN card. Okay, so I want to extract this information in the, if I call this from the test track service, okay, it will not be able to extract out the exact information. Okay, like it will not be able to find the name because it is not trained for test track service is not trained for analyzing Indian IDs. Okay, but now with the help of AI, I can do that. So you can see I the pass the prompt like, can you extract information from this image in below JSON format with the value in the required field. So I need this JSON format like name, other name, date of birth, PAN number. It will extract out this information. Okay. You can see that I got the response, and in the JSON I have this information from the ID, exact information that I need. Okay.
Yep. Got it. Okay. Because
This is
I remember like while working with RPA, like okay, we pass the input and in the output we used to get all the information. Then from there we need to extract these fields. But now, I think with the help of IDP, we can just specify what fields we need to extract and get only that specific data.
yeah, apart from the like predefined template that the fields they are extracting, if your document is different from the template and you need explanation, you just pass that text field in the prompt, and it will help you take help of the API to extract that particular information.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you.
Any specific role is required to see the automation section in any point platform? Is it visible for all users? Radhika, no, it is not visible for everyone. Your account need to have automation credit, I think. And again, if you have Composer and that RPA visible, you can reach out to your um, MuleSoft account partner manager, and you can take help from them that it should be there if you have automation credit. If you do not see Composer and this RPA section, then you do not have that role. Yeah, basically it is specific. So we explained it. Okay, any other questions? Let me see if I covered everything. Okay, custom queries I explained. Okay.
Okay, so we also have like one more AI session on Gemini, which we are going to present in Mysore. Okay, so make sure you are joining that session as well to
So
get more insight about AI. Okay, so now as you all know, right, AI is already like too much into the market, and knowing the concept of everything has become very important. So we are bringing all those aspects to our meetups to make you aware about all the latest AI technology which is currently running.
yeah, so I just shared the link. So we have this Gemini AI meetup in next Saturday. Okay, I shared the link. You can register, and yeah. So apart from this, feel free if you have any questions related to this or any other thing, you can reach out to us on LinkedIn. Okay, we are happy to help. And if you would like to to be a part of this meetup, like become a speaker, let us know. Okay, we are happy to introduce you as a speaker to our meetup groups. I can stop the recording.